Our convening having arrived, all members please come to the floor and be prepared to take your seats. All members please come to the floor. Mr. Clerk, will you ring the bell? We're going to have the morning roll call. So all members, if you get close to your desk, all members present will please vote green to signify their presence in the chamber. And Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machines? All members voted. All members voted. Now we're good. All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machines? Doorkeepers, if you please close the doors and keep them closed. As is our custom, we will begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by our chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Our chaplain this morning should be a familiar face to many of us in this room. He's an old friend from down home who's moved up to Chairman Bonner's district, doing a great job over there at his church. But I'll let Chairman Bonner do the honor of introducing our chaplain of the day. Our chaplain will be introduced by the gentleman from the 73rd House District, Chairman Josh Bonner. Chairman Bonner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. It really is an honor to introduce our chaplain of the day. Dr. George Dillard has been the senior pastor at Peachtree City Christian Church for over 30 years. The mission of the church is to build relationships, introduce people to Jesus, and grow disciples. And Pastor Dillard has done that, leading out through investing in our local community and missions abroad. George has been a good friend to me and so many folks in our community. He always brings an insightful word and is certainly no stranger to this chamber. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Pastor George Dillard.
Good morning. In 1978, I was asked by a number of my friends in college to take a 5-day backpacking trip on the Appalachian Trail. Now, I thought that would be just one of the best things I'd ever done. Never done it before, but I was looking forward to it. I showed up at the site where we were to begin with a backpack with every conceivable utility and piece of equipment that you can imagine. I mean, literally, I had enough stuff to build a frontier village. And I noticed when I walked up, all of the other guys that were going on this journey kind of smirked a little bit, kind of grinned and whispered to each other. I thought probably they're impressed with what I'm bringing. About 3 miles in, I figured out, you know what? I'd rather die than carry some of this stuff. I started unloading the backpack. I promise you there are probably pots and pans from 1978 still up there around Klingman's domes. By the time I got down, after 5 days of backpacking, I had a sleeping bag, 1 pan, and a couple of pairs of dry socks. I learned a very valuable lesson. Number 1 is, if you're going to get anything done, if you're really going to accomplish something, if you're really going to make the journey, there's a bunch of things that you need to let go of. All the stuff the world tells you that you need, you don't need. In fact, Jesus said, everything that God ever said is built on this foundation. Love God, love people. And then everything else is just trying to figure that out. I also learned that your friends know all the junk that you're carrying that you don't need to carry. But they're probably not going to tell you that you're carrying it unless you ask them. You know, the Apostle Paul said, help one another with their burdens, thus fulfill the law of Christ. We need to be sure that we understand, especially in this room, that part of our function is to work together for the good of all Georgians. That we should help one another not only carry the load, but also figure out some of the stuff that maybe you need to let go of. Because everything that you're holding on to is not valuable or needed. You know, it kind of reminds me of David getting ready to go fight Goliath. And King Saul loaded him down with this armor. Now, I always tell people, don't let the Bible just be words on a page. You gotta dig in a little bit. And the description of Saul was that he was a head taller than everybody in Israel. So guess what? Saul knew that armor was not going to fit David. So why did he load him down with it? I think he was trying to convince him not to go out and fight Goliath. Now, why did he not want him to go fight Goliath? You know why? Because he was the king. He was supposed to be out there doing it. He couldn't find the courage to do it. And so instead of encouraging somebody else to do it, he tried to load him down with too much junk to try to talk him out of it. David had enough sense and enough courage to say, I don't need this. And he picked up 5 stones and did the impossible. So I want to encourage you, as representatives of the people of the state of Georgia, to be willing to let go of the stuff that doesn't matter, that you don't need. to be able to be willing to help one another, regardless of where you come from or how you got here. And number three, and most importantly, don't let anybody talk you out of the fight, because you're here for a reason. And the fight should be to make life better for every Georgian. Would you join me in a word of prayer? Father, give us strength this day. Give us courage. Give us wisdom. Give us discernment. I pray for the members of this house that you would bless them so that they might bless others. That you would give them a spirit of cooperation, unity, and peace. That what they do here might improve the lives of every Georgian. That it might help us to be able to live freely and with peace and community in this state. Father, thank you for the leadership. Thank you for the strength that you've given them. Bless them. Bless their families. Bless this state. We give thanks for all the blessings that we have, most of all for your Son, Jesus, and it's in his name that we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Doorkeepers, you may unlock the doors and open the doors. Brother George, thank you for those words of wisdom. And this group is certainly always working for the best of the people of Georgia. Thus, thank you. Members, you may greet Brother Dillard in the South Ante room. Thank him for his service today. We do have a doctor of the day. If you need his services today, he's brought to us by Chairlady Katie Dempsey from up in Rome in Floyd County. We appreciate Dr. John Pittman being here to serve us today. Thank you, Dr. Pittman. We appreciate you being here in your service to the members of the General Assembly. Chairman Hilton, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, is recognized.
Good morning, Speaker. Your Committee on Information and Audits has read the journal of the previous legislative day, and we have found it to be correct.
Chairman Hilton, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to dispense with the reading of the journal? Hearing none, the reading of the journal is dispensed with. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? Hearing none, the journal is confirmed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day?
Representative Estration of the 104th moves following be establishes the order of business and under first part of the period unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of House bills and resolutions. Second reading of bills and resolutions. Reports of standing committees. First reading and reference of Senate bills and resolutions. Morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? Hearing none, the resolution is adopted. You folks have been busy. We have a lot of first readers today. First reading the bills and resolutions. Mr. Clerk, will you read?
House Bill 1015 by Representative Werkheiser, the 157th, the bill being titled Act to amend Article 10 of Chapter 9 of Title 34 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Self-Insurers Guaranteed Trust Fund.
Industry and Labor.
House Bill 1016 by Representative Kendrick of the 95th and Flournoy of the 74th. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 10 of Title 15, Article 2 of Chapter 7 of Title 16, and Article 2 of Chapter 11 of Title 44 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to magistrate courts.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1017 by Representative Kendrick of the 95th, Evans of the 57th, and Clark of the 108th. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 3 of Title 44 and Chapter 5 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to regulation of specialized land transactions.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1018 by Representative Kendrick of the 95th, Wilkerson of the 38th, Evans of the 57th, Frye of the 122nd, Lewis Ward of the 115th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Code Section 48.8.3 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to exemptions from sales and use taxes.
Ways and Means.
Bill 1019 by Representative Barnes of the 86th, Glaze of the 67th, Alexander of the 66th, Hughley of the 141st, Clark of the 108th, and others. The bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 7 and Title 44 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to landlord and tenant.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1020 by Representative Reeves of the 99th, Abstration of the 104th, Gunner of the 8th, Kelly of the 16th, Smith of the 18th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 23 of Title 47 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Georgia Judicial Retirement System.
Retirement.
House Bill 1021 by Representative McDonald of the 26th, Leverett of the 123rd, Gullett of the 19th, Oliver of the 84th, Evans of the 57th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Code Section 1521A 5 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to retention of funds by authority.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1022 by Representative McDonald of the 26th, Corbett of the 174th, Hitchens of the 161st, Lumsden of the 12th, Crow of the 118th, and others. The bill be titled Act to amend Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to motor vehicles and traffic.
Motor Vehicles.
House Bill 1023 by Representative Astration of the 104th, Burns of the 159th, Irwin of the 32nd, Hatchett of the 155th, Persinger of the 119th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 27 of Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to loitering at or disrupting schools.
Education.
House Bill 1024 by Representative Hong of the 103rd, Reeves of the 99th, and Leverett of the 123rd. The bill be titled Act to amend Code Section 4413.100 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to exemptions for purposes of bankruptcy.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1025 by Representative Davis of the 87th, Schofield of the 63rd, Scott of the 76th. The bill be titled Act to amend Article 5 of Chapter 11 and Title 15 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to child in need of services.
Judiciary. Juvenile.
House Bill 1026 by Representative Sharper of the 177th, Corbett of the 174th, LaHood of the 175th, and Burchett of the 176th. The bill be titled Act to provide for the compensation of the City of Valdosta Board of Education.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 1027 by Representative Anderson of the 10th year to the 152nd, Williamson of the 112th, Williams of the 148th, Gamble of the 15th, and others. The bill be entitled Act to amend Chapter 1 and 30 of Title 36 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions applicable to counties.
Governmental Affairs.
House Bill 1028 by Representative Reeves of the 99th, Abstration of the 104th, Gunner of the 8th, Kelly of the 16th, Smith of the 18th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 18 and Title 15 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding prosecuting attorneys.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1029 by Representative Thomas of the 21st, Ridley of the 22nd, Jones of the 47th, Jaspers of the 11th, Parsons of the 44th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend and act creating a new charter for the city of Holly Springs.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 1030 by Representative Donatucci of the 105th, Irwin of the 32nd, Jones of the 47th, Dubnik of the 29th, Hilton of the 48th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to elementary and secondary education.
Education.
House Bill 1031 by Representative Holly, the 116th, McQueen of the 61st, Bell of the 75th, Barnes of the 86th, Baker of the 64th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 7 of Title 44 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to landlord and tenant.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1032 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th, Bernal of the 77th. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 6 of Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the official code of Georgia annotated, the Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 1033 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, Schofield of the 63rd, and Bernal of the 77th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 24, Title 33 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to insurance generally.
Insurance.
House Bill 1034 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, and Davis of the 87th. The bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 7 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to financial institutions.
Banks and banking.
House Bill 1035 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, Schofield of the 63rd, Green of the 154th, Taylor of the 92nd, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Titles 36, 44, 46, and 48 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to local government.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1036 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th, Taylor of the 92nd, Baker of the 64th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 3 of Title 44 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to regulation of specialized land transactions.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1037 by Representative Cummings of the 39th, Adesanya of the 43rd, Parsons of the 44th, Campbell of the 35th, and Seaball of the 34th. Bill be titled an act to amend an act creating the State Court of Cobb County.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 1038 by Representative Griffin of the 149th, Hughley of the 141st, Miller of the 62nd, Davis of the 87th, Berry of the 56th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Title 20 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to education.
Education.
House Bill 1039 by Representative Davis of the 87th, Scott of the 76th, and Schofield of the 63rd. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 34, Title 50 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to the One Georgia Authority.
Economic Development and Tourism.
House Bill 1040 by Representative Owell, the 50th, Buckner of the 137th, Green of the 154th, Barnes of the 86th, Bazemore of the 69th. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 12A of Title 31 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to smoke-free air.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 1041 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, Schofield of the 63rd. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 11 of Title 15 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions relative to the juvenile code.
Judiciary, Juvenile.
House Bill 1042 by Representative Reeves of the 99th, Gunner of the 18th, Evans of the 57th, Crawford of the 89th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Titles 9, 15, and 23 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to civil practice, courts, and equity.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1043 by Representative Scott of the 76th, Schofield of the 63rd, Davis of the 87th, Bazemore of the 69th, Alexander of the 66th, and others. A bill be titled an act to amend Article 3 of Chapter 5 of Title 16 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to kidnapping.
Judiciary, Juvenile.
House Bill 1044 by Representative Roberts of the 52nd, Park of the 107th, Crawford of the 89th, Miller of the 62nd, Evans of the 57th, and others. A bill be entitled Act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 51 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding torts.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1045 by Representative Herring of the 145th, Rice of the 139th, Hughley of the 141st, Olallier of the 59th, Ballard of the 147th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 3 of Article 16 of Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the official code of Georgia annotated relating to student health in elementary and secondary education.
Education.
House Bill 1046 by Representative Fry of the 122nd, Roberts of the 52nd, Gisler of the 121st, Sanchez of the 42nd, Bell of the 75th, and others. The bill be titled an act to amend Title 14 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to corporations, partnerships, and associations.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1047 by Representative Washburn of the 144th, Dickey of the 134th, Carpenter of the 4th, Prince of the 132nd, Fry of the 122nd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 4, Chapter 8, and Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to water and sewer projects and cost tax.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 1048 by Representative Hilton of the 48th, Abstration of the 104th, Jones of the 47th, Donatucci of the 105th, Reeves of the 99th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 6 of Chapter 2, Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated, the Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 1049 by Representative Fry of the 122nd, Evans of the 57th, Gisler of the 121st, Sanchez of the 42nd, Bell of the 75th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 1 and Title 51 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions regarding torts.
Judiciary.
House Bill 1050 by Representative Fry of the 122nd, Evans the 57th, Roberts the 52nd, Gisler the 121st, Sanchez the 42nd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 35-1-17 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to state and local law enforcement actions.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 1051 by Representative Berry the 56th, Glaze of the 67th, Bell of the 75th, Holly the 116th, Schofield the 63rd. The bill be entitled an act to amend Article 27 of Chapter 2 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to loitering at or disrupting public schools.
Education.
House Bill 1052 by Representative Berry the 56th, Ali the 106th, Evans the 57th, Sanchez the 42nd, Lupton of the 83rd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 3 of Article 7 of Chapter 3 of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to Georgia Student Finance Authority.
Could y'all just tone it down just a little bit? Would be helpful. Just a little. I know you have important business you're transacting. Do it a little bit quieter, please. Higher education.
House Bill 1053 by Representative Lim of the 98th, Roman of the 97th, Sanchez of the 42nd, Wilkerson of the 38th, Lupton of the 83rd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Title 35 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to law enforcement officers and agencies.
Public Safety and Homeland Security.
House Bill 1054 by Representative Moore of the 91st, McQueen of the 61st, Cannon of the 58th, and Bell of the 75th. The bill be titled an act to amend Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to health.
Judiciary.
House Resolution 1046 by Representative Kendrick of the 95th and Flournoy of the 74th. A resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution so as to provide that any property owner in a condominium property owner's development or common interest ownership.
Judiciary.
House Resolution 1047 by Representative Kendrick of the 95th, Evans of the 57th, Clark of the 108th. A resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution of the State of Georgia so as to set the rate of the ad valorem tax.
Ways and Means.
House Resolution 1048 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, Scott of the 76th, Davis of the 87th, and McLean of the 109th. A resolution urging the introduction, consideration, and adoption of the Georgia Bereaved Parents and Family Support Act of 2026.
Industry and Labor.
House Resolution 1049 by Representative Hughley, the 141st, Griffin of the 149th, Berry the 56th, Park of the 107th, Jones of the 143rd. A resolution designating Wednesday, the last week in October of each year, as Fentanyl and Opioid Awareness Day.
Special rules.
House Resolution 1050 by Representative Green of the 154th, Donahue the 31st, Beckles of the 96th, Buckner of the 137th, and Flournoy the 74th. A resolution authorizing the conveyance of certain state-owned property in Clayton County.
State properties.
House Resolution 1051 by Representative Green of the 154th, Donahue the 31st, Beckles of the 96th, Buckner of the 137th, and Flournoy the 74th. A resolution authorizing the granting of non-exclusive easements for the construction, operation, and maintenance of facilities.
State properties.
House Resolution 1052 by Representative Cooper, the 45th, Fleming of the 114th, Panitch of the 51st, and Reeves of the 99th. A resolution expressing support for the designation of a state Prader-Willi Syndrome Awareness Day.
Special rules.
House Resolution 1053 by Representative Clark of the 100th and Martinez of the 111th. A resolution to urge the appropriate state and local authorities to consider renaming.
Intergovernmental coordination, general.
House Resolution 1054 by Representative Berry, the 56th, Hughley, the 141st, Parker, the 107th, Miller, the 62nd, Mitchell of the 88th, and others. A resolution creating a House Study Committee on the effects of the One Big Beautiful Bill.
Appropriations.
Senate Bill 407 by Senator Dickerson of the 21st, Albers of the 56th, and Kirkpatrick of the 32nd. The bill being titled, an act to provide for a homestead exemption from Cherokee County School District ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental coordination.
That completes first readers.
Thank you, members. Second reading of the bills and resolutions. Clerk, will you read?
House Bill 1000 by Representative Gamble of the 15th, Wade of the 9th, Seabaugh of the 34th, Hong of the 103rd, Blackman of the 146th, and others. A bill relating to income taxes. House Bill 1001 by Representative Wade of the 9th, Gamble of the 15th, Seabaugh of the 34th, Hong of the 103rd, Blackman of the 146th, and others. A bill relating to the imposition rate, computation, exemptions, and credits relative to income taxes. House Bill 1002 by Representative Camp of the 135th and Hatchett of the 155th. A bill relating to medical assistance generally. House Bill 1003 by Representative Wilkerson of the 38th, Lupton of the 83rd, Panitch of the 51st, Kendrick of the 95th, Campbell of the 35th, and others. A bill relating to annual salaries of certain state officials and cost of living adjustments. House Bill 1004 by Representative Wilkerson of the 38th, Campbell of the 35th, Panitch of the 51st, Kendrick of the 95th, Roman of the 97th, and others. A bill relating to the Security Guard Division of the Department of Public Safety. House Bill 1005 by Representative Wilkerson of the 38th. A bill to amend an act providing a new charter for the city of Austell. House Bill 1006 by Representative Hughley of the 141st, Williams of the 168th, Kendrick of the 95th. A bill relating to the Department of Public Health. House Bill 1007 by Representative Berry of the 56th, Fry of the 122nd, Ridley of the 22nd, Sanchez of the 42nd, Bell of the 75th, and others. A bill relating to landlord and tenant. House Bill 1008 by Representative Williams of the 112th, Wilkerson of the 38th, and Jones of the 47th. A bill relating to general provisions regarding the General Assembly. House Bill 1009 by Representative Hilton of the 48th, Jones of the 47th, Donatucci of the 105th, Reeves of the 99th, Silcox of the 53rd, and others. A bill relating to elementary and secondary education. House Bill 1010 by Representative Lim of the 98th, a bill relating to commerce and trade, corporations, partnerships, and associations, revenue, and taxation. House Bill 1011 by Representative Gilliard of the 162nd, Jackson of the 128th, Blaze of the 67th, a bill relating to law enforcement officers and agencies. House Bill 1012 by Representative Ramon of the 97th, Ridley of the 22nd, Oliver of the 84th, Fry of the 122nd, Sanchez of the 42nd, a bill relating to general provisions of local government. House Bill 1013 by Representative Bell of the 75th, Sharper of the 177th, Carpenter of the 4th, Huddleston of the 72nd, McQueen of the 61st, and others. A bill relating to other state symbols. House Bill 1014 by Representative Bell of the 75th, Ridley of the 22nd, Barnes of the 86th, Hagan of the 156th, and Sharper of the 177th. A bill relating to student health. House Resolution 1032 by Representative Jones of the 60th, McLean of the 109th, Glaze of the 67th, Oliver of the 84th. A resolution creating the House Study Committee on raising the minimum wage in Georgia. House Resolution 1033 by Representative Draper of the 90th, Gisler of the 121st, Willis of the 55th, Miller of the 62nd, Roberts of the 52nd, and others, a resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution so as to provide that changes of apportionment in districts of the General Assembly and Congress shall only be made in the first odd-numbered year subsequent to each United States decennial census. Through second readers.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We do have some reports of standing committees today. Mr. Clerk, will you read?
Representative Josh Bonner, the 73rd District Chairman of the Committee on Defense and Veteran Affairs, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Defense and Veteran Affairs has had under its consideration the following bills of the House. It instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendation. House Bill 1010, House Bill 110, do pass. House Bill 985, do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Josh Bonner, the 73rd District Chairman. Representative Don Parsons, the 44th District Chairman of the Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications, submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications has had under its consideration the following bill of the House. Has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendation. House Bill 998, do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Don Parsons of the 44th District Chairman. Representative Gunner of the 8th District Chairman of the Committee on Judiciary submitted the following report. Mr. Speaker, your Committee on Judiciary has had under its consideration the following bills and resolutions of the House and has instructed me to report the same back to the House with the following recommendations. House Bill 557, do pass by committee substitute. House Bill 676, do pass. House Bill 960, do pass. House Bill 999, do pass. House Resolution 251, do pass. Respectfully submitted, Representative Gunner of the 8th District Chairman. That completes the reading of the reports of standing committees.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Committees are working, as they should be. We'll move on to morning orders now. Members, if you will give the member in the well your attention. We have guests in the gallery, and we have members who want to recognize some important folks in their lives and in the lives of our state. We'll begin with Representative Tangi Herring. Representative Herring. Then Representative Douglas, you're on deck. Members, if you'll be courteous to the lady in the well, the lady will suspend just for a moment. Members, if you will get close to your seats or have your conversations if they're important, you can take them out to the ante room. But let's certainly be courteous to the member in the well. Representative Herring.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker and members of the House. Today, I am delighted to introduce Sisters-in-Law. If you would please stand up. Sisters-in-Law Society is a student organization at Georgia State University dedicated to empowering women of color who aspire to enter the legal field and profession through mentorship, professional development, and community. The organization provides supportive space for members to build confidence, access resources, connect with legal professionals while preparing for law school and legal careers. Sister-in-Law is committed to advancing equity, justice, and representation with legal fields. If you would please stand and welcome women in law. Ladies, if you would meet me for a picture, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for coming. Speaker, I yield the well. Thank you.
Welcome, ladies, to your state capital. Keep studying hard. Georgia State's a great school. Thanks for being here. Representative Demetrius Douglas. Representative Douglas. Give the gentleman in the well your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, I am standing here today to introduce a proud group of colleagues in recognition of this month being Neurotherapy Month, January and August of this year. Will Dr. Clay and the rest of the group please stand while I recognize them? They're up in the gallery to my right, some to your left. Today in the gallery, we welcome a distinguished group led by Dr. Clay, Director of Neurotherapy at Mind and Motion Development Centers of Georgia. She also is the founder of Emeritus Institute of Brain Health. Will our guests please, our colleagues, please give them a warm welcome to the Georgia State House. I yield the well.
Thank you, what you're doing for your neighbors and our neighbors. We appreciate what you're doing. It's great work. Thank you. We encourage you to keep working hard. Thank you for being here today. Representative Jasmine Clark is recognized. Representative Clark for a morning order. Give the lady in the well your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, everybody. Today, I would like to welcome several community violence intervention groups and community health worker advocates to the Capitol. Community violence intervention programs like Ivy at Grady Hospital and organizations like Paralyzed from Violence, founded by Eddie Smith, and Hope Hustlers, founded by Leonard Dungy and Chitara Alexander, who are here joining us in the gallery today. Could you stand? You're here? Oh, well, they're still trying to get into the gallery, but they are on their way. These organizations and programs seek to prevent gun violence through a holistic, community-based approaches. This includes using things like peer specialists, other community health workers, and really considering social determinants of health and trying to prevent gun violence in our communities. Thank you for this very important work, and welcome to the People's House. Thank you, Speaker. Are you?
Representatives and Representative Gamble recognized for a morning order. Is Dr. Al? Representative Gamble.
Hey.
Lady and the gentleman are recognized.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So today there are over 1,400 people at the Capitol for Addiction Recovery Awareness Day, ARAD 2026. If you could please stand if you made it into the gallery. These people come from less than a mile from the Gold Dome to all the way 5 hours away to be with us here today. These people are Georgia. They represent over 900,000 Georgians in recovery from addiction, and they stand for over 1.4 million Georgians who are in active addiction in communities in each of our districts in every part of Georgia. So thank you so much for joining us here today. Recovery is real, and welcome to the People's House.
Thank you for that recognition and great work. Representative Gilliard, Representative Carl Gilliard from the great state of Chatham.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, I want to rise to recognize Mr. Darren Lewis from Savannah, Georgia. Mr. Lewis, in March of 2025, was just walking and coming out into his own, left his wife, who is here. We have members of Savannah, Savannah State, and Mrs. Kathy Lewis that's here, who is the wife of Darren Lewis. And he was coming out of his house, high-speed chase, and was killed. Today is Saving Lives Day at the Capitol, and our focus is House Bill 1011 focuses on saving lives for law enforcement and civilian. There's so many people, unfortunately, that have lost their life. Would you stand with us on today in memory of Mr. Darren Lewis and an opportunity to save lives in Georgia? Just a moment of silence. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, representative and representatives. Okay, Representative Schofield, Bernal, and Representative Tanya Miller.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Today in the gallery, I'm honored to recognize to the People's House a group of amazing youth leaders from the city of College Park. Under the leadership of Council Member Mayor Pro Tem Jamel McKenzie, the Youth Civic Advisory Council is a group of right now voices who speak up, show up, and stand up for their city. They address things like houselessness and advise Mayor Pro Tem on issues that need to be addressed. These students make an impact wherever they go. Today here with us will all the students, staff, parents, Mayor Pro Tem Jamel McKenzie in the gallery. Please stand to be recognized for all your good work. Thank you guys for being champions in the city of College Park. Mr. Speaker, I yield the well.
One of our great communities, College Park. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Okay, we need the BIB delegation and Representative Dale Washburn and the BIB delegation. If you'll join Representative Washburn in the well, give them just a second. They're off tending to very important business, I'm sure. Here they come.
I don't think Representative Parrish is here yet. Yeah, she's here. There she is. Yeah, good. Good.
Give them just a second, Representative Washburn.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for your patience in our people getting to the well. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, we are pleased today to recognize the Vine Ingle Junior Boys All-Star Team, and they are seated up here in the gallery along with their coaches. I want to read just a couple of paragraphs from the resolution we're doing for them. Whereas the Vine Ingle Junior Boys All-Star Team has earned the distinction of being the best junior league team, 14-year-old boys in the United States, and the right to compete for the World Series Championship against Chinese Taipei. And whereas this superlative team continues its triumphant two-year journey in junior league competition by posting an outstanding record of 24-5 over 2 seasons, as well as winning Intermediate World Series, Junior League World Series, 2 District 5 championships, 2 Georgia State championships, and 2 Southeast Regional championships. And whereas the phenomenal performance of the team is a clear indication of the outstanding athletic ability, dedication, hard work, and unity of purpose in the spirit of each member of the team, its superb offensive and defensive talents, and the astute direction of head coach Lance Foster and assistant coaches Harold Wilson and David Mullis. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming this team and recognizing their outstanding accomplishments. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
All I can say is, wow. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being dedicated to our nation's pastime, baseball. Thank you for what you're doing, and good luck with the rest of y'all's careers. I know y'all will continue to do very well playing baseball on the next levels up. Congratulations. Thanks for being here. Chair Lady Mathiak is recognized for a morning order. Chair Lady Mathiak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, the optometry...
The lady will suspend just for a moment. This is an important group. Y'all know we're talking about literacy. If you can't see to read, to learn to read. So these are important folks in our lives of Georgians. So, lady will proceed. She's recognized.
Thank you again, Mr. Speaker. The Optometry Association is here today. So if you get called out to the ropes, please go out and say hello to them. There is a mixed group of young optometrists and older optometrists, so it did my heart well to see them today. Thank you for being here, and thank you for recognizing them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. Great work. We appreciate what our optometrists in Georgia do for us. Look forward to working with them. Chairman Irwin, Representative Glaze. Y'all going to come tell us about some of y'all's good work, right? Let's hear it. Gentleman and lady, and several other members, some other friends are interested in a part of that good work. Ladies recognized.
Thank you so much. We want to recognize in our gallery this morning the big brothers and big sisters of Metro Atlanta, Chattahoochee Valley, Northwest Georgia, and the heart of Georgia. So if you have been inspired by a big brother or a big sister, or you've been a little and been inspired by their work, if you would stand with us. We want to recognize them today because of their work throughout Georgia, how they continue to help young people and their families and communities.
And colleagues, I want to point out to you, if I can, these mentors up here, the impact they have across the state of Georgia, and also something that's hitting our state of Georgia, which is chronic absenteeism. And Big Brothers and Big Sisters have definitely been a group that have come in trying to help us getting those young people to school where they can learn. So thank you, and thank you for being here today and what you do.
Very impactful work. Thank you for your dedication. Big brothers and big sisters. That's awesome. Thank you, members. Whip Burchett is recognized for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my pleasure to recognize the Georgia Business Aviation Association with us up in the gallery. If you all please stand. The Georgia Business Aviation Association is very important to Georgia. They play a critical role in strengthening Georgia's economy and supporting thousands of high-quality jobs, as well as helping ensure that Georgians' airports, large and small, remain viable for the economy. And through their advocacy and education and their workforce development, GBAA promotes the highest standards of safety and professionalism within the country. Today they'll be in the club at I think room 510 is from 1 to 3. I'm inviting you all to go over there and speak with these folks, and very much appreciate what you do for Georgia. And let's give them a round of applause, if you will. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the floor.
Thanks, an important part of our state in so many different ways, our airports. Thank you all for what y'all do, and thanks for being here. Continue to advocate for airports, right? Good stuff. Thank you, Whip Burchett. That concludes our morning orders. Members, I'm going to ask you to come to your seats. We have some important business we need to tend to this morning. We have a further action on a bill we sent over to the Senate last year that the author has worked out. So I'm going to ask members if you'll come to the floor and come to your seats. I want to recognize Chairman Petrie for a motion. Chairman Petrie. Members, please give the member in the well your attention. Chairman Petrie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as it relates to House Bill 444, we agree to the Senate substitute as amended by the House.
Mr. Chairman, that's 443, right?
443, Mr.
443.
443.
Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to House Bill 443?
House Bill 443 by Representative Petrie, the 166 and others to be entitled an act to amend Code Section 27-223, the official code of Georgia annotated relating to license, permit, tag, and stamp fees so as to provide for the fees for reef and migratory fish endorsements.
Representative Petrie, will you explain the Senate substitute and the House amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes. So, members, as you'll recall, last year we overwhelmingly passed House Bill 443. That is a bill that creates a special endorsement for reef fishing, which is essentially offshore fishing. This is something that our fishermen on the coast want. It will allow us to raise funds to take possession of the fishery in federal waters from the federal government. And a way we're doing that, as other adjacent states have done, is by using this mechanism to raise the revenue to do our own surveys. So right now, federal surveys that are done on our fishery are basically encompass the entire Atlantic coast. And so they lack any rigor as it relates to accuracy in Georgia. And most of you have probably all had 100 emails about red snapper, and we only have one day we can catch red snapper in Georgia. So anyway, that's the purpose of the bill. In the last minutes of sine die, this bill was sent back with an amendment related to raw milk. And so we are sending this bill back, having removed raw milk, this amendment on raw milk, and putting it back in its previous state. Mr. Speaker, I'm glad to answer any questions if that needs clarity.
Gentleman has no questions.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Chairman Petrie. Is there any objection to adoption of the House amendment? Hearing none, the House amendment is adopted. On the gentleman's motion that the House agree to the Senate substitute to House Bill 443 as amended by the House, all those in favor will vote yes, opposed will vote no. And Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machines? Have all members voted? This is the way we do it. We have been practicing on your attendance when you vote green or red. So, have all members voted? All members voted. Representative Scott. If the lady, are you green or red? Green? Will you allow us to vote your machine for you? Representative Scott votes green. Have all members now voted? All members voted. If so, Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machines? On the gentleman's motion, the yeas are 165, the nays are 2. The House has agreed through the Senate substitute to House Bill 443 as amended by the House. Thank you, members. Afternoon orders. We have a whole slew of afternoon orders. So we're going to give you, we'll be a little bit flexible, but I'm asking you to hold your afternoon order to 1 minute if possible. If possible, we'll be a little bit flexible, but 1 minute. And I want the members to give Representative Sharper, your attention, please. We'll recognize Representative Sharper now, and I'm going to ask members if they'll please join Representative Sharper and myself in standing. All members, please stand.
We was going to have an image up, but they don't have it ready. But Naomi Delva, she came here 11 years ago as an intern from Spelman College for the Legislative Black Caucus. She was the young lady that you would see back with us a lot of times. A lot of you knew her. She was 30 years old, and she passed away. And she encountered a lot of you guys a lot of times. And no matter where she was in the country, she would try to be here all those years after for session. But I'm going to read this very briefly. Honoring the life and legacy of Naomi Delva for other purposes. Whereas the state of Georgia mourns the loss of one of its most distinguished citizens with the passing of Naomi Delva on January the 5th, 2026. Whereas Naomi Delva was a woman of vision, character, and purpose whose life was marked by service, leadership, and unwavering commitment to uplifting others. Whereas throughout her life, Naomi Delva exemplified excellence in entrepreneurship, community development, and mentorship, using her gifts and talents to empower individuals, families, and small businesses. She was widely respected for her integrity, compassion, work ethic, and she consistently sought to create opportunities for economic growth through education and positive social impact. Naomi Delva's influence extended far beyond her professional accomplishments. She was a source of encouragement, wisdom, inspiration to colleagues, friends, and all who had the privilege of knowing her. Her legacy will continue to live through the lives she touched and initiatives she helped build, and enduring examples she set of faith. It is fitting and proper that the Georgia House of Representatives pause to recognize and honor the life of this remarkable individual and to extend heartfelt sympathy to her family and the loved ones and all who've known her through her life. She was also my business partner with Devin Sharper Consulting Group over the last 4 years. And she was also the creator and founder of the Harmony Fresh toothpaste that a lot of you are already using. So therefore, we just thank God for this opportunity to honor her and everything she's done to help so many people all across the country and across the world. Join me in a moment of silence, please. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, Representative Sharper, and our condolences, of course. Thank you, House members. Representative Bell is recognized for an afternoon order. Representative Bell, give the gentleman well your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for being acknowledged today. First, I would like to start off by apologizing to my colleagues, Speaker of the House, the staff, and other members. Yesterday, during the Pledge of Allegiance, when I stood, I draped a Abolish ICE flag over my back. I understand that this is not a part of the decorum here, and I apologize for violating that. But like America, feel like I'm in a crisis. So in that, I acted out. I'm a veteran, so apparently I'm somebody's mental health patient as well. But this, oh, that's funny, huh? But I do deeply apologize for that. Our country is in turmoil, and I acted out as an activist, as a person that deeply cares about all of you in this room and in this country. May I find better ways to show my activism and my spirit and my courage for our country and our nation. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the will.
Thank you, Representative Bell, for coming down, and we'll all learn from and to follow the rules of decorum in this House. Whip Sam Park is recognized for an afternoon order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to honor the life of Alex Preddy, a son, a brother, an ICU nurse, and a devoted member of his community who spent his life caring for others. His family described him as a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his loved ones and the veterans he served. On January 24th, Alex Preddy was shot and killed in broad daylight by federal immigration agents while exercising his constitutional rights. How have we become a country where American citizens are killed in the street by their own government for exercising constitutional rights? This is not normal, this is not acceptable, and it should shock the conscience of every American who believes in the rule of law. The rule of law means allegiance to the Constitution, not blind obedience to power. Respect for law enforcement requires accountability and transparency, especially when force replaces restraint and violence replaces justice. This is a moment that demands courage, not fear, fidelity to the rule of law, not might makes right, truth, not denial. What we choose now will define who we are as a nation and whether we will safeguard our democracy entrusted to our care. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the will.
Chair Lady Camp is recognized for an afternoon. Thank you, Whip Park. Chair Lady Camp, give the lady in the wheel your attention, please. And friends. Representative Ali, there he is. You're next.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning. Last night's attack on Minnesota State Representative Omar during a town hall was an act of political violence, plain and simple. Our public servant was targeted while doing exactly what democracy requires, meeting constituents and listening to their concerns. That should never put anyone at risk or danger. Political disagreement is part of a healthy republic. Violence is not. When someone uses force or intimidation to silence an elected official, that is not a protest. This is terrorism. It is an attempt to rule through fear. We must always condemn this clearly and without qualification, no matter who the target is and no matter what their political party is. There is no place for political violence in America, none. Our democracy depends on civil discourse, peaceful engagement, and respect for one another. We resolve our differences with words and with votes, not with threats and never with violence. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Ali, give the gentleman, he's carrying on a tradition here. He started again yesterday, so we appreciate that. Gentleman's recognized.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of this House, I wanted to direct your attention to the screen where 12-year-old Oscar is displayed. Oscar is a wonderful kid, a country music fan, an avid reader, but also a fantastic friend to those who are around him. And so, if you are looking to make a difference in a child's life, if you're looking to open your arms to family, then please go to itsmyturnnow.dhs.georgia.gov to please consider Oscar for adoption. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Representative. Got a pretty cool John Deere sweater on there. Sweatshirt. Representatives Lim and Representative Jasmine Clark recognized for an afternoon order. Representative Marvin Lim. And friends.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So often people will tell our stories and those of our communities for us, and when they do, so often will they tell a story of our weaknesses, at least as they perceive them. We are politicians, we've all been there. Too frequently, we don't allow people to tell their own stories, and too frequently, we look past the strengths that lie therein. This past week, schools in my district, including one called Meadow Creek High School, chose to tell their own story about how our government and its policies on immigration are impacting them. They were not the only ones to do so, but it was special that they did, as the most immigrant diverse part of my county, and also in the face of fears from many students and their parents about speaking out. You may know I've come to this well many times, speaking proudly about the diversity of not only my school's backgrounds, but also their accomplishments across STEM, language arts, sports, and other fields. It's been one of my greatest joys to work so closely with my schools, whose greatest strengths still are perhaps invisible to the eye, but especially to those eyes who look at them only when a news camera does. Today we want to recognize their strength to speak out about what they believe is right, but beyond that, beyond today, I urge us to nurture their many other strengths in and outside the classroom, the many other parts of who they are beyond statistics that will never fully capture either their identity or their achievements, and to build up their resilience rather than tearing them down with their perceived weaknesses, as some have, and bullying students who are, to me, wise beyond their years, yet still, to be clear, in their formative years. In speaking to so many in the school community this past week, whose feedback we certainly sought before deciding to speak here, I know two things to be true at once. They are proud of who they are and want their voices heard in our democracy, and they also want to go on living the many other parts of their lives without people seeing them only as it meets our own preconceived narratives, speaking about them only when it serves our individual purposes. I trust this body can honor that, and the best way is not to dismiss, but to listen with care and curiosity when our youth decide to tell their own stories. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Thank you. That was important, but I'll remind members, when you exceed your time limit, you're cutting down on the next person's afternoon order. I'm not sure they'll appreciate that. Representative Schofield is recognized for an afternoon order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the House, I really want you to listen up. We have partnered with the Georgia Lions Lighthouse, which operates one of the largest eyeglass recycling centers in the United States, providing impact domestically and internationally. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Chris Riley and Gerald Pilgrim for making this happen. This box will be located at the counter of the security desk in the Capitol. So please bring your old eyeglasses, including the broken ones, loose lenses, readers, sunglasses, and hearing aids. My goal is to collect 200 glasses by the end of session. Together, the Georgia General Assembly can make a difference for all people giving sight, the gift of sight. I'm the first one to drop it in. I need those others to join me. Thank you. I yield the well.
Awesome. Representative Davis, could you do that little wave? That how you? Yes. There you go. All right, members, that's some great opportunities. So let's help. Very important. Leader Hughley. Members, you need to give the member in the well your attention.
Thank you, Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, before we close out this month of January, I want to remind us of something that Martin Luther King Jr. once said. He frequently spoke out about silence in the face of injustice, and he reminds us that silence in the face of wrong is betrayal. And that's why you hear members coming to this well speaking about what is important to them. And I want to remind us that these are moments of personal privilege. It is not for debate. So we need to respect each other's opinions and not turn them into debate. So I appreciate everyone who shares with us because there's something to be learned from each and every one of us. And I appreciate the opportunity for us to have moments of personal privilege. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Thank you, Madam Leader. Representative Townsend.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've got two colleagues joining me. I just want to let you look at your desk and see this invitation. February 17th is the day we've been waiting on. Fresh Georgia shrimp. What more could you want? It's going to be good stuff. We're following Savannah this year. I know Savannah's going to be a blast in a couple weeks, actually 2 weeks, next week, I think. And then, but this is going to be a great time. 17th, dinner and cocktails start at 5 o'clock. We hope to see you there. You're all invited.
That'll be at the depot? Yes, sir. And at the depot. Thank you. We look forward to it. Those wild Georgia shrimp. Good stuff. Representative Rhonda Taylor. Representative Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just wanted to pause. I haven't heard anyone say it during the morning order and thus far in the afternoon orders, but I wanted to pause and say thank you for the beautiful garment bag that you left on our doors. Can we give the Speaker a hand for that? I really, really like it. Thank you. And Mr. Speaker, I yield the well.
Thank you, Representative. Thank you all, and hope you put it to good use and travel safely. Chairlady Dempsey and Chairlady Camp recognized for an afternoon order.
Good morning still. So on your desk today, thank you, Mr. Speaker. On your desk today, I know there's a lot, but this often gets overlooked. Chairman Camp and I want you to both know how important the information is in here. Many of you call and ask about some of the facts that are already in here. It is exactly what you need to address any children's issues that might be happening in your district, and also anything that might just be speaking to your own heart about our children. Wonderful fact sheets that will tell you across key indicators how Georgia's doing and how we can improve. So please, if you feel inclined that it doesn't matter to you, share it with someone else. This book will get you through the year, though. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
That concludes our afternoon orders. Mr. Clerk, are you ready for privileged resolutions? You read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions. Mr. Clerk.
Honoring the life and memory of Mrs. Geneva Wilkins Jones. Honoring the life and memory of Myrtle Levon Johnson Odom. Honoring all cancer patients, survivors, and their families is recognizing February 4th, 2026 as Cancer Action Day. Honoring the life and memory of Steve Dale Golden. Honoring the life and memory of Charles Chuck Leonard Mashburn. Honoring the life and memory of Joshua Gerard Cardiello. Honoring the life and memory of Jacob Allen Cardiello. Memorializing the victims of the Thiokol Chemical Corporation explosion of 1971. Commending the Marriage and Family Therapists of Georgia and recognizing February 11th, 2026 as Marriage and Family Therapy Day at the state capitol. Recognizing February 17th, 2026 as Blood Plasma Donation Awareness Day in Georgia. Recognizing and honoring the life, service, and legacy of Mayor Waymond Smith of Alapaha, Georgia. Commending and congratulating Ron Zerpoli. Commending the Middle Georgia State University School of Aviation excellence in aerospace education. Recognizing and commending Chestnut Grove Baptist Church on the occasion of its 175th anniversary. Recognizing and commending Penny L. Elkins, PhD, recognizing the efforts of YKKAP America, Inc., for their significant contributions to economic development. Congratulating and commending the Good Neighbor Homeless Shelter upon 30 years of dedicated service. Recognizing and commending Mike Dunham on his outstanding career with the Associated General Contractors of Georgia. Recognizing February as Career and Technical Education Month and February 4th, 2026 as Georgia Career and Technical Student Organizations Day at the state capitol. Celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States Postal Service and reaffirming support for its continued public service to the American people. Congratulating the city of Tucker upon its 10th anniversary, recognizing May 2nd, 2026 as Tucker Day at the state capitol. Recognizing and honoring the city of Tucker, Georgia on the occasion of its 10th anniversary. Recognizing and commending Ms. Chantel Grant on the occasion of her selection as the 2025 Georgia Public Library Employee of the Year. Congratulating Sonic Edge of Pebblebrook High School for winning the 2025 International Championship of High School A Cappella. Celebrating the first HOA, COA, and POA Day at the Capitol and recognizing the importance of civil engagement with homeowners across the state of Georgia. Recognizing March 4th, 2026 as City of Hapeville Day at the Georgia State Capitol. Recognizing February 19th, 2026 as Lupus Advocacy Day at the state capitol, recognizing February 10th, 2026 as Dyslexia Day at the state capitol, recognizing January 29th, 2026 as Doula Day at the state capitol, celebrating continued observance of March 5th as Small Business Day and designating March 5th, 2026 as a Corporate and Entrepreneurial Women in Leadership Day at the Georgia State Capitol. Recognizing February 19th, 2026 as Girls Empowerment Day, recognizing and commending Taiwan for its relationship with the United States and state of Georgia, recognizing and commending the Boykin Z, and for other purposes, recognizing and commending Mrs. Lena B. Williams, recognizing and commending the Association of Nutrition and Food Service Professionals, recognizing February 11th, 2026 as Albany Doherty County Day at the state capitol, recognizing the members of the Georgia Black Republican Council, recognizing February 4th, 2026 as Hispanic Day at the state capitol, celebrating the second year of recognition of Trinity International University of Ambassadors, and recognizing June 7th, 2026 as TIUA, School of Business Entrepreneur Day, and for other purposes. That completes the reading of the resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? Hearing none, the resolutions are adopted. We'll move on to announcements at this time. Chairman Chokus, recognized. Take your time. Then Chairman Corbett, then Chair Lady Smith. Chairman Chokus is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members of the Small Business Development Committee, we will have a meeting tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, 5:06. We have a bill and we have a presentation. So please be there. Need a quorum. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Corbett, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Rural Caucus will be meeting over at the Ag Building down here off of Trinity, where we met last year. Lunch will be served. Everybody come join us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair Lady Smith, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Natural Resource and Environment Committee, we'll have a meeting tomorrow morning. We will have an in-depth presentation of the forestry issues that we're faced. So see you tomorrow, room 606, Cielo B. Thank you.
Chair Lady Hagan, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Rural Development Committee will have a meeting today at 2 o'clock in room 515 in the CLOB, and we do have a bill, so please try to be there if you can make it. Thank you.
You're next. He's done. Chairman Hawkins, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Committee on Health will meet today at 2 o'clock in 403. That's Capitol 403. Thank you.
Chairman Todd Jones, recognized for an announcement. And friend.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Representative Panich and I, for the 4th year, are hosting a Shabbat dinner. For those of you who have never attended a Shabbat dinner, I promise you it's Shabbat light, but it's a great opportunity to experience and really just get a sense of what exactly occurs at a Shabbat dinner. I think you'll really enjoy it. We have one happening in Roswell and one happening in Macon this Friday. If you need the details, please see Representative Panich or myself. Thank you so much.
Chair Werkeiser, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The House Industry and Labor Committee will be meeting this afternoon at 3 o'clock and CLOB at 5:06. Thank you.
Representative Adenia, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Colleagues, members of the Georgia Legislative Black Caucus, we have a meeting today. It's a very important meeting. We're taking some important votes. It's going to be at CLOB 310 at 3 p.m. Look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Which room? 3 what?
310.
10th.
The LOB.
Want to make sure everybody got it. Chairman Rhodes, Game, Fish, and Parks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Game, Fish, and Parks will meet in 415 CLOB at 1:30 today. We have our yearly update from Commissioner Rabin, so need y'all there to see what they've been doing this year. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Representative Carter, recognized for an announcement. Representative Doreen Carter.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. You all know what time it is. This year, we are asking you to wear red on 2 days. So on Thursday, February the 5th, the American Heart Association is having their Advocacy Day, and they are asking if you would wear red, and we will meet them on the South Steps at 9:30 a.m. on Thursday, February the 5th, to wear red and take their picture. Then on Friday, because we're in session, and we're normally not in session on that Friday, but it's okay, we're going to ask you to wear red again. And that is the Go Red for Women, which is the American Heart Association's Advocacy Day to bring awareness to heart disease as it affects women. And on that day, we'll also have a luncheon that will be at 12. If you think you're going to join us for lunch, please contact my office because we're finalizing catering. And then at 1 on Friday, we'll have Dr. Fakaridi out of Cleveland, Mississippi, who is an interventional cardiologist, will be one of our guest speakers. So I just want to see if you were listening. On Thursday, what color are you wearing? And on Friday, what color are you wearing? Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Don't pay any attention to the peanut gallery. Chairman Yoder, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Appropriations General Government Subcommittee will meet today at 1 o'clock, 606 CLOB. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairman Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Governmental Affairs Committee will meet this afternoon at 3 o'clock in 606 CLOB.
That concludes our announcements. I have one special recognition today. One of our own has a birthday. I'm looking this way, but I'm going to do what quarterbacks do and look over there and recognize the pro tem of this house, Representative Jan Jones, is celebrating a birthday today. We appreciate you very much. Thank you for your service. Happy birthday. Okay, members, we do have some pages today, so you, those of you who have pages, if you'll join me up front as soon as we adjourn, we'll get some page photos done. The majority leader of this House is recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this House stand adjourned until Thursday, January 29th, 2026 at 10 o'clock a.m.
Boy, time's flying. On the motion of the majority leader, this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. Thursday, January the 29th, 2026. All those in favor will say aye. All those opposed will say no. It was clear those that counted voted aye. It's clear we are adjourned until tomorrow. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your attention.